Good afternoon. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me. Words of Wisdom coming channel to you through the great, wonderful spirit team that I have. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Oh, it's a very strong, I'm feeling quite heavy energy actually. I'm not going to lie, but I've had a really good day. I've reconnected with a friend of mine that I haven't spoken to in quite a while. It's so lovely as always. I just felt quite blessed this morning in many ways. But there's this sort of, yesterday I was sort of describing the weather as it was just very quiet. That's exactly how I feel right now. Very sort of, here I am. But I was trying to meditate and relax, which I was doing. And then I got called to come up, go and do your reading. So I thought, right, I'm going to do my reading. This morning I had a beautiful reading on TikTok. It was so good. It was so on point. Lovely, beautiful cards. Really wonderful. Our new moon, our beautiful new moon card actually came out for us this morning. So, and the time is right for seeking new opportunities. Absolutely correct. It is time for us to be able to do that. And one of the messages I got this morning was, there's a new chapter, but the story is no way over. And I thought, that's interesting. So I then thought, right, what are we going to just continue with our day before, the big change, the day before the new moon. I know what time the new moon is going to be where I am. And if you don't know that, try and find out that wherever you are. So it's really powerful. And apparently it's powerful for 8 hours after that time as well. So it's obviously, for me, it's nighttime. I don't know whether we'd get to see it tomorrow. I would pray that we would, but I'm very much doubting it unless all this lovely cloud disappears, but we can ask. And then I thought, right, we're going to carry on asking our book, The Untethered Soul, for some details. So I've opened to a page 136, which adds up to 10. And 10 is completion. So I thought that's very apt. And I can read this beautiful, beautiful last bit of this chapter. And I thought, well, we'll do our let go of the past spell again. Because, of course, it's still very much about cutting those cords, getting rid. But as I was thinking about doing that, my lovely somebody turned my page in my magic book, and it is Your Light Will Shine. So that's what we're going to talk about. I've also got on my table our beautiful Soul Sacred Traveler cards, and I've got our Soul Helper cards. I'm not sure what tarot cards we're going to get just yet. I do have my runes as well. So we're just going to go with the flow a little bit, okay? Don't know how long it's going to be. We're just going with the flow. And that's exactly how I'm being told. It's about going with the flow of our energy right now. Going with the flow, being guided. Follow the guidance. See where it takes you. Don't worry about outcome. Just keep going. Okay? So we're doing that. We are doing that in the version of our lives today for some reason. I'll also read to you what our little message was today, and some of you might be really grateful to hear this. It says, may everything you work for have a romantic outcome. And on the other side, without flexibility, there can be no progress. So maybe that is a message in itself to somebody. Okay, but this romantic outcome, I feel like to say, from a romantic point of view, what is romantic outcome? For a lot of us, it is about love. If you are seeking love, if one of your wishes is to find love make sure that you are, very clear on what type of love you want. But the romantic side is, often it just brings about those beautiful feelings. Butterflies, excitement, that sort of beautiful feeling of being loved and nurtured, and it's an emotional value, isn't it? So I think that's really what it is that we are working for, isn't it, to have those moments? So let's see where that takes us anyway. All right, so let's see what our beautiful cards are going to say. But first I'm going to read to you our beautiful spell. Your light will shine. I need no shout to claim my right. My silence glows, my stillness bright. The world bends soft where I remain, unmoved by doubt, untouched by chain. I do not bow, I do not plead. The crown I wear is all I need. My breath alone my power shows. The quiet queen in the night well knows. As above, so below, as within, so without, as it is, so mote it be. So your light will shine, my friend. And, often I think that is something I battle with at times. I used to want to go into a room and be noticed. Now I really don't want to be noticed, but I am. It's a sort of a switch of the sort of coin. But there we are. It is how it is. So I'm going to read from our beautiful Untethered Soul this information for us, and I'm sure, very sure, it's going to relate to what is going to be on the magic table today. It says here, you are consciousness and you can free yourself from all of this by relaxing behind it. If you want permanent peace, permanent joy, and permanent happiness, you have to get through to the other side of the inner turmoil. You can experience a life in which waves of love can rush up inside of you anytime you want. Exactly. That's what I'm saying about this romantic. Exactly. These waves of love. Absolutely. It is the nature of your being. You simply have to go to the other side of the psyche. You do that by letting go of the tendency to cling. You do it by not using your mind to build false solidity. You just decide once and for all to take the journey by constantly letting go. There we are, exactly what I was saying. It is about just following the flow, go with the flow. Just let it happen. Absolutely beautiful. At this point, the journey becomes very quick. You will go through the part of you that has always been scared to death, and you'll see how that part has always struggled to hold it all together. If you don't feed that part, if you just keep letting go, don't let it cling, eventually you will fall behind the false solidity. This is not something you do. It is something that happens to you. I kind of feel like that's me right now. This sort of, I'm here. That's it. I'm here. Your only way out is the witness. Just keep letting go by being aware that you are aware. If you pass through a period of darkness or depression, just ask who is aware of the darkness. That's how you pass through the different stages of your inner growth. You just keep letting go and remain aware that you are still there. When you've let go of the dark psyche and you've let go of the light psyche and you're no longer clinging to anything, you will reach a point where it will all open up behind you. Yeah. You are used to being aware of things in front of you. You now become aware of the universe behind your seat of consciousness. It didn't look like that there was anything behind you because you were so focused on building your model out of the thoughts and emotions passing before you. There was no awareness of the vast expanse of space inside. Back behind, there is a whole universe. You're just not looking that way. If you're willing to let go, you'll fall back and it will open into an ocean of energy. You will become filled with light. You will become filled with a light that has no darkness, with a peace that passeth all understanding. You will then walk through every moment of your daily life with the flow of this inner force sustaining you, feeding you, and guiding you from deep within. You will still have thoughts, emotions, and a self-concept floating around in inner space, but they will be just one small part of what you experience. You will not identify with anything outside the sense of self. Once you reach this state, you will never have to worry about anything ever again. The forces of creation will create creation, both inside and outside of you. You will float in peace, love, and compassion beyond it all, yet honoring it all. There is no need for false solidity when you are at peace with the universal expanse of your true being. There we are, 136 and 137, 10 and 11. So that's exactly what I was trying to explain, how I was feeling and how this is going to be for the transition period now. Absolutely right. I mean, I sat yesterday morning in a meeting listening to people, and I was thinking to my, I could identify things that were being said with all the people, some of the people I know in the room. And I was thinking, I wonder if they are aware of these things that are part of them that they need healing with, or they need to be changing. And it was quite profound that I kind of was thinking like that, and that I could recognize it, which is quite interesting. Anyway, let me just see now from our point of view what our beautiful, or my beautiful spirit team is going to give us today. What are they going to give us today in terms of some guidance the day before this massive change? And the energy is here, my friend, but tomorrow is the change, and I feel it so strongly right now. Right. What are our beautiful runes going to tell us today? Well, we've got our beautiful magic on our table, and we have got our beautiful good luck. Our luck is changing. And I also wanted to say I'm hearing karma. Our karma is changing. Oof, that was a big energy download. Karma is important when we know that we've reached a point of having gone through cycles and closed them off. That karma is, and that's what I was just hearing here. Okay, so we have Othala, we have Manaz, and we have Gubo. No, Naughties. All right. So, and one other, Halgalaz. All right. So we know that we've had these a few times out now. Othala is always about family and ties and inheritance and tradition and that type of thing. I should actually take my cardigan off before I start talking away to you sometimes, but the heat suddenly just comes on me and I'm like, oh, I need to just change a few things here. All right, so let's have a little look first of all at Naughties. Naughties is about restriction, but it's also about having patience. And patience has come out a number of times in my readings in the morning. It's kind of what the energy is all about. And we've had patience ourselves. And I think in actual fact, we did have patience this morning. Did we? Yes, we did. There it was. Oh, in our energy cards. So it is very much about patience today. And patience with, keep going. I've actually got a real painful sort of tummy going on at the minute, which is a bit strange, but it's really this belief that what is going to be for us will be for us at the time it needs to be for us, and we've got to have the patience for that energy to open up and come to us, because sometimes we might not just be ready, it might just not be our time, and that's okay. We have to accept that. So Naughties is, the advice of this rune is to treat this situation as a period of learning and an opportunity to strengthen resilience. And that really is important on our journey. We have to have resilience because we are human, and often our mind will start to paint pictures that actually are not even in front of us. And so the universe will provide what we are trying to capture, and yet it's not actually what it is that we want, and it can be quite frustrating at times. So the resilience is to step back, to let go, to not anticipate, to just accept, to go with the flow. When the flow comes, go with the flow. So don't allow bitterness or worry or despair to get the best of you. And it does happen, and it's coming up. So maybe a couple of you might be tested with that today. So it is also protection as well, Naughties. And protection of ourselves, so if you find that somebody is in your energy and is draining your energy, or is trying to take or change something in your thinking or your feelings, protect yourself, protect how you feel, protect in what it is that you believe in. I'm hearing Manaz is all about humanity, assistance, support, the self. Exactly. So the protection of yourself is very important right now. Because when this change is ready for you, when it arrives for you, you know, it's no one you turn to ask advice other than you, your higher self, other than what it is that you've called in. And you've got to trust in that. Okay, so this rune could be representing the self with particular emphasis on your own inner being. So whatever it means for you right now in terms of where you are on your journey for the transition, it's really focusing within and focusing how you feel and your emotions. Okay, and you know, having harmonious relationships around you is really important at this time. So those people you should be, you know, sweeping away that are no longer serving your highest good, and you know the feeling of it. You know, leave them where they are for now. Keep going forward, and you know, accept that that is what is on the path for now. Take some time to honestly examine the role you've played in any issues or anything that, you know, situations that need to be called off or clarified in some way. So really look at yourself, protect yourself, your feelings, how you are behaving and thinking, okay? Really important. Athala, of course, is about, as I say, it's about family ties. It could be ancestral property or ties, but it's also about these unconscious beliefs we've absorbed as a child. And of course, those are behaviors and patterns. So any little behavioral pattern that still might be surfacing, nail it, put it aside, keep going forward, let go, let go. Don't let anything into your energy right now that you have got to be battling against or worrying about, or any anxiety, anything like that. It's about staying in that peace and calm. Okay, really important for you. And finally with Nortise, is it Nortise? No, Hercules. Hercules, we've had Nortise. Hercules is about chaos, or it could be about transformation. And I feel like that's really, oh, he's running away from me. I feel like that is really what this beautiful rune is saying to us. You know, sometimes there is always chaos before transformation. Because chaos, if you haven't been paying attention, Spirit will come along and give you a little kick up the butt, and you might find that you have to pay attention. So chaos is the only way. If everything's fine and dandy and no one's having any problems, how can you learn? How can you grow? How can you pay attention? So it's a beautiful start to our reading, these final hours, this final 24 hours before that new moon arrives and that solar eclipse energy for us. All right, so let's have a little ask of our beautiful soul helpers, our soul helper cards. I absolutely adore these cards, I have to say. They are so on point, and we've used them a couple of times now in these previous readings. And the reason for that is because they are very much drawn to me at the minute, and I feel their energy a lot. So it can give us really good guidance of what we need to be doing. What is it that we can have guidance with? Because if we're asking for guidance, then we must pay attention to it. So Spirit, please give us some guidance over these next 24 hours, over these next couple of days, with our new moon, our transitions, our changes. Yeah. Okay, so have courage, awaken the warrior of light within you. And I love that, because that's exactly what our spell was today. Okay, that is so beautiful. Your light will shine. You need to waken up that light today. Okay, and be your own romantic self. Be courageous in loving you. Have the courage, there we are, to be free. Have that courage. Know that freedom begins when desire ends. I'll read that to us. And a new strategy is required. These have all come out in recent weeks with us. And again today, very important. Have your strategy, a new strategy. If it hasn't been working, it needs to change. Otherwise, you'll always get what you've always got. Nothing changes. All right, so a new strategy is required. Number 12. Number 12. 1 and 2 is 3. Power of 3. You have drawn this card because an aspect of your life is not progressing. It says a standstill. Something is making you feel constrained, inhibited, and unhappy. You're going around in circles and have lost sight of the path to happiness, which is a great loss. Let go of what is making you feel lonely and weighed down inside. So I really feel the importance of this message. Someone here needs to hear about letting go. I battled with it for a long time, my friends. I'm not going to lie. But once you do, you're on the other side, just like I read in the book, the other side of that psyche. And honestly, it's a very different feeling. It's a wonderful feeling. It really is. I can promise you that. Stop being blinded by or fooled by externalities. Even if some people question your ability to do so, make a choice for yourself now and for the true path of your soul before it is too late. Do not cling to old hopes and dreams that are unfulfilling and complicated. Look for a new strategy. Work out a plan that will quickly steer you towards a fulfilled and happy life. But stay on your guard and avoid involvement in hasty actions that will drag you down. Exactly. Don't get involved in anything. All right? Not right now. It is time to confront your decision making, to get out of your comfort zone and shake off your self-imposed shackles. Your soul has no need for ostentation nor self-affirmation, but instead it requires freedom and the prospect of a natural and light-filled path. It is calling you and telling you to be guided by your heart and to follow love. There we are. May everything you work for have a romantic outcome. Follow your heart. I've got my beautiful rose quartz on today, my sunstone on today. Follow your heart. Okay? This card tells you to bring some order to your inner world and cast a sober eye over all that surrounds you in the outer world to establish order there too. It is a question of finding a new direction. Beautiful. And then we have to have courage. 28, which adds up to 10. There we are again. Completion. What does freedom mean to you? What does freedom mean to you? Where do you think it lies? Do you think it could be found in money or power, recognition or enlightenment? Freedom commences where desire ceases. So freedom exists only in the present. You cannot plan for it or save for it in a freedom piggy bank to make use of later. Live in the moment and live freely. Freedom is wherever you happen to be. Look around you and seek it out. Invite it in right now into a moment that is full of potential, including the chance of freedom. Be open to it and use that freedom sometimes to behave a little irrationally or rashly, and perhaps increasingly often. Even now and then, it will give you the courage to pick yourself up and smile to yourself at the idea of acting responsibly, without wishing in any way to disintegrate or disregard common sense, since freedom is magnanimous and can therefore accept everything with ease. When you are free in your own self, you are at one with your life purpose. You feel bound to nothing and to no one, and it is only then that everything will flow through you freely, and the perfect light of great potential will find its way to you unchallenged. To be free means to love everything without wishing to understand, and without asking for meaning or reward. Can you see? No expectations, nothing. No building anything in your mind, any thoughts, any pictures, any stories. No. Leave it to the universe. It will be your time to shine when it's your time to shine. What will you do now? Hear your soul ask softly, what do you desire? And when you have found your answer, be sure to act upon it. And learn that freedom can only be found on the path of truth. So we need to have courage in order to let go and change the way that we've always done something, because the way we've always done it is comfortable, even though it hasn't ever been great, because otherwise you wouldn't be listening to this and you wouldn't be wanting some sort of transformation, would you? You wouldn't be in some sort of chaos if it was great. So it is really important now to awaken your warrior light and to find the courage now. So this card will guide you on the path of the light-filled warrior. It indicates you should face up to those challenges of life. The light-filled warrior does not become angry over difficult situations or attempt to blame others for their own suffering, the deceit, lies, or pain they encounter in life. Instead, they are courageous and overcome all the lies they tell themselves. If they lack a courageous heart, they will have no love of life. Your soul is calling on you to be brave, to climb life's peaks and not to fear the lows. Everything helps to support the growth of your consciousness, the successes and the highs, along the defeats with the defeats and the lows. And I'll tell you, this friend of mine that I spoke to this morning, was so beautiful to catch up with her. Let me just say, she absolutely inspires me. She has health conditions at a situation that honestly, she is in pain constantly. She really doesn't deserve any of it. She's the kindest, nicest person I know, and she has the most beautiful laugh, the beautiful smile. She is just a beautiful human being, and she has this horrible health situation that I absolutely pray to my archangels to help her with as much as anything else. But she does not complain. She'll tell me about something. Oh, I've got to go now for another MRI scan on Friday. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. No, it's fine. It's whatever. But I don't know what they're going to say. Anyway, I try not to think about it. And she talks something else, happy, blah, 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 blah. She lifts the energy. She just does not bring woe is me into her life. She won't. She refuses. She ignores it. She ignores the pain. And I think she's got to the point that she ignores the pain so much, she's actually ignored her body to the point that it's screaming at her. But I find it awesome that she absolutely will refuse to give in and let it bring her down. And that is massive courage as far as I'm concerned. That is a warrior of note, The journey on which you find yourself is long, and no one can predict how it will be, whether it will be safe and whether it will bring you great suffering or deep joy. This journey is an adventure. Do not be afraid. Wake up the light-filled warrior within you. It will be your protection. Fight for the light within you and for the light in this world by protecting it and letting it grow. And never again seek someone to blame. They do not exist. Your destiny is not controlled by others, but is entirely in the hands of the gods, who will always react to the impulses emanating from you. So you are the one who creates the successes and victories in your life, not to mention the defeats. It is recognizing this that makes a wise warrior. However, this card also has an indication that your heart is in danger, and this delicate, sensitive place must not be defiled. Put your inner warrior on guard at its door. Avoid all forms of trouble and altercation over the next 21 days. Stay home and let everything in the outside world simply pass you by. Your warrior will give you the strength and centeredness that you will need. And that's literally what my friend has done, because I haven't heard from her for a number of months. But she said, she's been in hospital for 2 weeks, and then she came out and she was just hermiting at home. She doesn't want to talk to anyone, because then she'd have to talk about her situation, and she doesn't want to think about that situation. I think it's admirable. It's amazing how she does it. I really do think it's amazing. But yes, there is a very strong message there for somebody here, I always ask for the right person who needs to hear this for it to come out. And it could be all three cards, it could be just one card, but generally my readings have an overall scenario, so they match, right from the start. When I read that spell, or when I read something, or I have a discussion with you, then the whole reading just flows from there. And that's the energy flow. That is our energy flow. All right, so let's ask now for our beautiful Sacred Traveler Oracle cards as well, to give us some guidance of what we can expect that could be coming up, maybe. What can we expect, please, Spirit, that's coming up for us after this beautiful transition period? Yes, a great adventure is coming up. We had this one yesterday, I think. Did we? I can't remember. Take a risk, venture forward. Absolutely. We've also got another one here that says vast vistas. Expand your horizons. Now, how are you going to do that? Well, maybe you're going to study. Okay. Maybe you're going to travel. Great adventure. Great adventure. At the end of your life, you are more likely to regret the things you didn't do than the things you did. Take risks. To be by stepping out of your comfort zone, you'll discover new talents and abilities. Exactly what I said to you, isn't it? We do want to stay in that comfort zone, even if we're not happy. So playing safe in the long run is no safer than venturing forth with glee. To quote Helen Keller, life is either a daring adventure or nothing. So the Sacred Traveler wants you to know, hoist your sails, catch the trade winds of adventure and enter the open seas. Explore new ports of call. It's easy to stay safe in the harbour, but that's not where the juice of life is. When you sail the open seas without knowing what the day will bring, life force energy is activated within you. So there are no guarantees when you take a risk, but be willing to go out on a limb. That's where the best fruit is. When you push yourself beyond your personal boundaries, life is so much more fulfilling. And vast vistas. Expand your horizons. See the world around you in new ways. This is not a time to think small. It's an exciting time for you. You may find travel and new adventures in your future. Think outside the box. Ideas and projects that you've been contemplating are now moving forward toward manifestation. Unconventional relationships may flourish. Take time to nurture your dreams, for big changes are ahead. As the traveler steps out of the woods, the pathway winds up and down the life of the road. It's only when the traveler takes time to look at the big picture that he realizes that most worries and anxieties are only temporary. Imagine yourself in the future. Ask yourself if what you are doing now will be important to your future self. Focusing on these concerns takes up valuable life force energy. Keep your focus directed on the important things in life. Let everything else drop away. Very, very clear. Very, very, very clear. All right, I've been told to get these cards. Beautiful ethereal insights. So we're going to ask ethereal insights, please, to give us some guidance over the next coming new moon period, please. What is happening? What can we say for our beautiful guidance over this next period of change and transition? Community, beautiful. Belonging, beautiful. There'll be communication, discussions, lovely. Anything else, Spirit? Oh no, that's far too many. I'm noticing where they're all sitting as well. They're sitting on the vast vistas. So we have this beautiful community card that came out straight away. So new people coming into your life, conversations you'll be having. It could be after a period of silence. So you might feel like like me, like the silence of this weather yesterday, the silent sort of situation. All of a sudden you'll find that you are, oh, there we are, entrepreneur. Exactly what the Vast Vistas card said. Expand your horizons now. After this silence, after this quiet time, after all of this work that you've been doing, maybe everything you work for have a romantic outcome. So it's really making a change. Work for yourself. Develop an idea. The right people will come along for that. You'll be having discussions and talks. Maybe even just hearing this communication, somebody might reach out to you and really know, maybe there's somebody that you won't expect is going to reach out to you as you go on with this new project. Have this courage. Your light will shine. The right people are going to come about and they are going to give you everything that you need right now. We're going with our energy cards as well. I'm being told, let's get some energy cards. Beautiful. Okay. So let's have a little look at our energy cards. Please give us some guidance to confirm. Some of you are entrepreneurs already. Some of you have been thinking about something entrepreneurial. Little ideas, any projects, anything. So vast vistas, expand your horizon. It's time. Absolutely. Here's your letting go card. And this contract as well. Maybe you'll be signing some sort of contract. But what is interesting about this card, I've always said, is the fact that you can't see right now. But things are maybe working behind the scenes. So somebody could be reaching out to you. They're talking about you right now. Oh, you know, the wonderful person. I've got just the right person for you. Wow, wow, wow. Reach out, whatever. Okay. And it is also here the idea of allowing for what is meant to be on your path will come. You must just stay balanced. You must just stay in that balanced harmony. Okay? Because that is really important for you going forward. Oh, and we have another one. Yeah, the garden and the gate. The garden and the gate. We had this the other day as well. Now it's in a reversal. So I'm going to read this to you because we didn't have it in a reversal the other day. And it's now come out in reversal. So we've got to a crucial point here where it is a happy choice to open the door to a more spiritual pursuit. So maybe it's a spiritual situation that you've been thinking of. You've got to shine your light. Let your light shine. I know what it is for me. It's my podcasts. I'll be doing my podcast. I'm putting it forward. I know I want to do it. It's my calling. It's my next stage from this. Not just doing an hour here or 50 minutes or 40 minutes or my 10 minutes on TikTok. It's much more. So many people believe they cannot live in a material world, make lots of money and engage in spiritual priorities at the same time. But you now realize that this isn't true. And that is correct. Absolutely right. 100%. You know, it's amazing how you can balance your spiritual journey with your everyday life. It's just that I prefer to stay in my spiritual bubble than sometimes in the 3D world. But you must make sure you maintain your 70-30 split, your focus. And when you do, you'll find that beyond your garden, the universe is willing to fill your life with beauty and joy. Expect the unexpected, for joyous synchronicity abounds. I love that. That is so beautiful. Joyous synchronicity, the right people, the community you are supposed to be entering into now. You've let go of everything else. I love that. That's so beautiful. And the silence as well could be a bit of universal silence. I felt that a little bit today when I was going for my walk. I didn't have any downloads or anything. That's why when I came home, I was doing a meditation and I was just lying there doing that. And then I got this sort of go into your reading. So I knew Spirit was back to give me this guidance. Here's your affirmation. I am blessed with an abundantly spiritual life. Every day in every way, my joyous prosperity grows and grows. That's a beautiful affirmation. Absolutely beautiful. Right then, shall we ask our moon cards to come out and play with us? I'm going to put our new moon card back in and I'm going to give it a good shuffle. And we're going to ask for guidance from our moon cards because our moon is like literally on our doorstep. He's coming. You might get your new moon tonight, depending on where you are in the world. I'm not even sure. What are you doing? I'm not even sure what these cards were doing just then. That was a bit weird. Okay, so please, our beautiful new moon is on its way out. Can we have a card, some guidance, just confirming, there it is. Oh, our totem is the cow. A new beginning or even a new life. Oh my goodness. They blow me away. Look, new moon. And it is the cow totem. A new beginning or even a new life may be blooming. And there's your new moon card, just like I showed you. Magic. So I'm going to leave the reading there because honestly, I can't even get any more magic than that. The time is right for seeking new opportunities. So my friend, may everything you work for have a romantic outcome. Without flexibility, there can be no progress. So you need to let go. You need to let the flow. You need to go with everything. Honestly, trust in your process and good luck for tomorrow. I'll speak to you again very soon. Take care. Thank you for joining me.